Alright, hello everyone. Welcome to Esports Off the Grill, a very special Thanksgiving episode. We are off air today, but that shouldn't stop you from going to 88.3 or harperradio.com and listening to our other shows. And my name is Mark Berger, and as always, I am joined by my lovely, lovely co-host. Tim, you want to say hi?
You flatter me too much. This is at Timothy Heiser. You can follow me on Twitter, otherwise known as the GoldenTim.
Yeah. So, we're recording this show today because campus is closed, but we figured, hey, we're both not doing anything. Might as well make a show, right?
Yeah. I can't wait. There's lots of stuff going on. We got great stuff to talk about, why we give thanks to who we are,
Yeah.
and the games we play.
So, speaking of that, our kind of like main discussion point for today is going to be our personal stories or adventures within games, like how we started, how we came to play the games that we did, and like kind of giving thanks to all the great games that have inspired all of us. You want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
You know what? I mean, we could always just, go back and forth with it. I want to hear more about you. I know I've said a couple things on the show already.
Sure. So, okay. So this is way back, like 2007.
We're talking like before we were born.
Like way back.
Yeah.
The first console that I got was a PS2, and I don't remember anything about that era of my life, but I know I had it. And then it wasn't until I got the DS Lite that I like actually started playing a lot of video games.
Oh yeah.
Lego Star Wars, Pokemon, Soul Silver.
Some of the greats.
Soul Silver is the best Pokemon game that has ever been released, and that's
debatable, but very, very debatable. That's a bold statement.
But yeah, that was the first one that I played, and then obviously I graduated from the little DS to the Nintendo Wii, and that was like Super Mario Galaxy 2, Force Unleashed, Brawl, Smash Bros. Brawl. I grew up on Brawl. I was a Kirby main because I didn't know any better. And yeah, and then somewhere around like
who wasn't a Kirby main at that time in life?
Because I mean, it's just like me playing with my brother and stuff, and I would just ground slam, ground slam, ground slam.
That was the best.
And then somewhere around 2015, 2014, I want to say, freshman year of high school, Joey introduced me to this Counter-Strike team called Ninjas in Pajamas. And
Wow.
It was like, look at these guys, they play video games for money. So then I got into like a really
That's pretty awesome.
big CS phase.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of that, and then that kind of launched my interest in esports. I started looking at Vainglory because I started playing that game as well, and that's why I love Cloud9 so much, is because they were my favorite Vainglory team. So I would watch all the C9 VODs that I could, learn the game, learn how to play it, and 2016-ish, Overwatch was released. And I was a big fan of that. I played some of the very early seasons on my old computer, and when that computer died, I just started watching VODs because I couldn't play it anymore.
Yeah.
And then League happened, because at this point I'm just getting every piece of esports that I can get my hands on, and I'm just watching it. So I found out what League of Legends was. I found out what Hearthstone was. I found out, what competitive Smash looked like, because I was a big Smash player as well. And
Of course,
who isn't a big Smash player? But then Vayne kind of died after a little bit, and the Overwatch League started. And this is when I started thinking like, hey, I can maybe do this as a career. So I started.
This is the time in life.
Yeah, this was when I found out that I could monetize, playing games and like talking about games and all that kind of stuff. And once the Overwatch League started, I just devoured all of that. And I started doing some community tournaments, casting Vainglory.
I remember watching some of those.
Yeah, yeah.
I loved watching, and I think your casting's great. I always loved
Thank you.
seeing that. I still love seeing you cast nowadays because it's like, oh, you recently did a Vainglory one, and
Yeah, that
what was
tournament's
the one?
going on
What was
right
the
now.
one clip that happened? The one clip, who was it? I think Lyra was trying to run away or something, and she went through one of the bushes in the mid, and just immediately got. Oh, I gotta find that clip again. I know somebody memed it.
Oh, the
Into
meme,
the
the
ladies
meme
and
clip.
gentlemen,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
got it.
yeah. Yeah, that's the tournament that I'm doing right now. It's called Where's the Trophy? Everyone's taking this week off for Thanksgiving, but next week,
Oh, of course, yeah.
next week I'll be back. I post links every time I'm live, so you guys can definitely check me out as I cast that. And that will bring me to today, pretty much.
Yeah, you know. Well, I have to say, you know, a lot of that I can relate to. Definitely, I feel like, you know, for us kids who really got into video gaming, there's a lot we can go into and say that we had. I have to say that I do feel I had a little bit more of an adventurous start into my gaming career when I was younger, around maybe 4 or 5. That's when I first got my first. I had my first ever gaming system ever, and I'd never touched anything else. I knew video games existed. Maybe I was on the computer like once in my life. I didn't understand it, but my grandmother took me. She took me to like a Best Buy or something, and I got my Game Boy Advance. And I got 2 games that day. I got a Power Rangers game, and I forgot which one it was, but it was a really fun platformer fighting style game. And I got Pokemon Emerald. And Pokemon Emerald still stands up to be my absolute favorite game to this day. I have to say I've put a lot of time and effort into playing Pokemon Emerald throughout my life. I still have an emulator on my computer, which I visit from time to time. I've got my randomizers on there. I have my... I have a lot of fun runs with it. I have my Nuzlocke runs saved. I still have my original cartridge booted up and ready for some new plays and stuff.
Awesome.
It was really... Yeah, no, Emerald was definitely the highlight of my childhood. There was no other game that could compete to it. But I did end up growing my collection. I have out of all the Game Boy games I had, it was kind of foreign to me. It's like, why would you sell your video games at that point? It's like, just keep getting new ones. Because at that point, I had no concept of why you would ever try to sell video games at all. So I still have most of my Game Boy Advance games when they were still actually worth something too. These were in the boxes and everything. And I've got a lot of fun ones, some oldies, some goodies, some really whack ones. Some of them I don't think... Some of them are crazy, like Spider-Man and Fantastic Four, Tetris, Star Wars, Lego Star Wars on the GBA.
Dude,
was...
I could speedrun Lego Star Wars. Before I knew what speedrunning was, I would just crank
Oh,
through
for
the game
sure.
as fast as I could.
I had myself pinned like that too. It's you get through it as fast as possible, and that was the fun. That was the challenge.
Which one, though?
Which one?
Which Lego Star Wars?
Wait. Well, I'm talking about the one on Game Boy Advance, which really did
okay.
suck. That one was terrible. That one was trash. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry. But I'm sorry, not sorry. You know, Nintendo, why'd you ever put your seal on that one? But however, the other Lego Star Wars games, that's after my Game Boy Advance. My dad showed me that my uncle had other game systems too, and at my grandmother's house, we had an original Game Boy with 3 different games. We had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Tetris, and there was one more that I'm forgetting right now. And I don't think it was a Pokemon game, but it had to have been some kind of platformer. I forgot what it was. But I spent most of that time of my life then playing Tetris, which is probably my second favorite game of all time. It was just fun. For me, puzzles are like the way to go. These puzzle games, finding the new routes, and like it's crazy. I remember saying... when I did the first segment for our speedruns, I talked about the Tetris speedrun that just happened, the guy who got the world record for 40 lines. And he did amazing. And I love watching that kind of stuff because it's crazy. You see people's minds work so fast like that.
Yeah, and you sent me the clip too, and it's I can't replicate that if I tried for 100 years. Just how fast the pieces are moving, and just how much macro you have to work on in your head to be like, this is what's coming up, and this is where I have to fit everything. It's unreal.
Saving the pieces, putting them in, aligning everything. You can work out an algorithm in your head, but you work for best case scenario, and that's how you get those kind of scores. And it's great. After the Game Boy, I shortly stopped playing the Game Boy the original one, and I have no idea where it went to this day. I think my grandmother threw it out at some point. After that, I inherited a PlayStation, the original, and I played many upon many of games on there. Some which were fun as Spider-Man, the originals. I played something called Fusion Frenzy, but that was actually for the... Oh, sorry. I then inherited from my uncle an original Xbox. And I had so much fun playing that. There was a game called Fusion Frenzy, which really honed in on like party games. It was like one of its... I wouldn't say one of the first, but I'd say for Xbox it was really fun. People who know Fusion Frenzy know what I'm talking about. It's crazy. It was insane. I have to say, after the Xbox and my PS1 stages, I played Duke Nukem on there. Lots of fun games. It got me into like these kind of shooting games, but I didn't really get into them. They were just there. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like I purposely chose to play shooting games. That was much later. After that, I got for one Christmas, my great-great-grandmother, she got me a Nintendo DS. She got me a Nintendo DS Lite. And I got both Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. And I have to say Pearl was my favorite because I loved Pokey at the time. Dialga was pretty cool, though. And I have to say, as much as I played those games, I still have my old DS games, too. My Pearl game right now is absolutely in utter destroyed. Like, it is the hardest thing to load up. And I have to say, when I do get it to work, I just have to be very careful. I have to hold my DS in a very precise position. I have to make sure the cartridge is upright and connected, because otherwise it won't work.
Yep, that's how mine is at this point, honestly.
And I still have my old DS, and I always got the red ones. I always got the red ones when they came out. The red one was
silver,
my favorite color.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, our friend Eric had the black one, and I was always jealous because it's like the black one looked cool, but I always stuck with the red one because that was my favorite design. Mm-hmm. It's one they had on the commercials.
Yeah. Mario Kart DS.
Mario Kart DS.
Where
God,
my
I can't even explain.
Intense hatred of Mario Kart comes from.
Well, Mario Kart actually got me more into... I feel like, for me, the speedrunning scene and the competitiveness of video games really started me on Mario Kart. Mm-hmm. I would go through each lap trying to get the best time. And I remember watching people online like use these crazy skips. I'm like, that's crazy. And I was like, well, that's cheating. You're just abusing the system, a poorly made game. And it's like, no, it's not a poorly made game. It's just a little crack in the code, you know? Mm-hmm. But yeah, then you got yourself into amazing stuff. They made Kirby Superstar Ultra. That was fun on the go. You played with some friends. Some of the Lego games, Pokemon, Mario, and Luigi's Bowser Inside Story.
I forgot about that game. I loved that one. That was like the cartoony style one, right?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. Out of all the Mario RPG series, that stands to be one of my favorites. Even though Paper Mario is still in my top tier list. Mm-hmm. Scribblenauts was like one of the biggest things.
Scribblenauts. Oh, I remember that game.
In a game that promised you that you could create anything out of your own imagination just by writing a word in a notebook, it brought you to the sense of like surrealism as a kid, where you're like, I'm God.
Yeah. And
I still haven't dropped from that high. The video games give you such a nice perspective, and that's why we love these kind of things. The esports that give you that competitive side, the speed runnings that make you really look at how the game is formed, and just generally playing a game just because it's fun, and it brings you back to that old style of how you used to do things.
Yeah, it's the big nostalgia trip that everyone's like,
yep.
Oh, like, because a bunch of games are now being remade, like old NES classics or N64 games are getting remade a lot.
Well, yeah.
So,
when the first examples of that was when DSi started coming out, they had the store where you could purchase old games, and it didn't become a big thing until stuff like the 3DS came out, and they had the eShop where you would go in and you would buy the classics. That's when Nintendo started realizing the value in kind of putting it back in. And, there were re-releases for different consoles and stuff as they moved on. When Xbox 360 came along, they had some stuff for Xbox come along. When the PS3 came in, it was backwards compatible with the old games, old controllers, and everything, too. It's incredible.
Yes.
And I ended up having a PS2 for a short amount of time when I was young. And that was, by far, it still stands up to be the most godlike console of them all. I remember having the most fun than I've ever had on most other things. Like, the countless hours that I've spent on my Game Boy Advance is nothing to it is considerably way better than my time on PS2 and way more than my time on PS2. But PS2 gave me something that I still kind of try to hold on to these days. It gave me a sense of like, this is truly gaming. Spider-Man 2, you had Dance Dance, you had DDR, you had the Extreme Edition on there. I had the trackpads. I still have the trackpads downstairs myself.
Oh,
that you could bounce up and down on.
External stuff, Rock Band and Guitar Hero. I was so
too.
good at that, and I think we sold all our old stuff at like a garage sale or something because nobody played it. But I want to like do that again. Like I was just thinking like I want to play Guitar Hero again for some odd reason. And there's someone made this like not like a fan made, but like it's an actual game called Clone Hero where all you need is a guitar, and then you can just download literally any song that the community writes a chart for, and it's just easy Guitar Hero.
Lots of people stream that on Twitch. You can find that on a lot of people's. There's this one Asian guy that does it. He's pretty awesome.
Asai?
Yeah, Asai.
Yeah, I love Asai.
Asai's great. I love watching him. That's some of my free time when I'm playing other games and I don't want to listen to the soundtrack for sometimes. Even though the soundtrack's like my other favorite part of any other video game. Now, after my whole DS thing, the Wii came out. The Wii was everything. I had one of the original Wiis. It was the first ones that came out, the first model. My parents bought it on eBay and passed it off that Santa gave it to me. Santa got me something else that year, but you know, Santa got me the Wii, and it had Kirby's Adventure on there, which I've never played. I never played a Kirby besides Superstar Ultra. I didn't know Kirby was a major thing. I just thought it was like a one-time off, and I thought, wow, this is a cool dude. When I got to play Kirby's Adventure, I was like, oh, this is old school. This is great. And it had Paper Mario, the original, on there. And that's when I finally learned like the ideals and like the awesomeness that RPGs offer, especially with timed events, with action commands, how you should be collecting things, every little corner exploring. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Truly sparks me into like my... Looking back on it now, as a kid, I truly underappreciated all the things that video games have led me up to.
Oh yeah, they used to be literally just hobbies, and now it's like, this is gonna be my job someday, and I should have played, you know, Super Mario Galaxy a little bit more when I had the chance.
I had childhood friends. These people, one of them has their own computer company now, and they literally started in high school, and they were earning money more than normal people. Like, they literally started a company in high school. I have these friends. Oh yeah, no, they are insane. They're beautiful. They're great people. One of them is in college. He's 1 year older than me. One of them is 2 years younger than me. I haven't talked to him in a while, but he's a great dude. Building computers is his company. But as a kid, they had ports and stuff on. They were playing Minecraft, like Tekkit. They were playing all the advanced versions of it. They had their Xbox. Their dad is a huge gamer. I see him on Steam sometimes. I'm like, that is the most insane thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And that's when I was like, wow, these people know video games.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so that's kind of like where we were. And I want to talk a little bit about where we are now. Like what your go-to games are now. What you are excited for in the future. Kind of that kind of discussion next.
Oh, for sure. I'd say the first thing I'm very much excited for is the new Smash game. I love everything that's coming out, and it's definitely going to be a big release. I have my Switch primed and ready for when it comes out. I need to go buy it though. I think I'm gonna
considering getting the Switch just to play Smash.
It comes out within about I think it's about 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
Give or take 2 weeks from now, it comes out. I was thinking of buying it the day of, pre-ordering it, and I'll be out on the midnight release. I have to get work off though, probably. Maybe not. I don't know. I keep forgetting what day it would be. But if it is 2 weeks from now, I do have to get work off. But the pre-order would be great. I would love to actually just throw on my Switch, because I know me and my sister would... I'd dominate my sister, but I mean, it would be fucking beautiful.
Of course.
Yeah, it'd be... Yeah. And I have to say, my favorite part of like growing up was finding these different games to play. Street Fighter, Tekken, Smash, all of that. The fighting games were great. And looking forward to everything now is... It's a dream come true. It's to see yourself kind of expand from that. The one game I was really looking forward to, I think I talked about this before. It was Overkill's The Walking Dead.
Yeah, you talked about that a little bit.
I was really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
We haven't had a good, proper Walking Dead game since Telltale, bless their soul.
I really enjoyed the Telltale ones, though. I thought they were, kind of... they weren't necessarily, like, honest to the show, but, like, they created their own kind of universe in a way that was really not done before, I would argue.
Oh, for sure. We could beat a dead horse over and over again. I'd be happy to beat this one crazily because I enjoy talking about this so much. Walking Dead's one of my favorite the zombie appeal is one of my favorite appeals, and the whole survival aspect is one of my favorites. Ever since I found out about Minecraft and the whole survival of that, I got introduced to Minecraft from our friend Eric.
Mm-hmm.
And I never knew about it until he started watching. He showed me a video. He showed me a video of Yogscast.
Oh, that's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
Back when they had their Survival Island series. That's an old thing for Yogscast to be. I don't even know what Yogscast is up to nowadays. I don't know what Simon's up to, how he's doing. I say it like I know him, but no, I have no idea what they're doing now. I know I've just recently been revisiting old stuff too, like Smosh. I just started watching their old videos, and I'm like, wow, where did they go to? And Anthony left. Ian, they kind of stopped it. Smosh is dead. Smosh Pit is there, and I have to say, it's weird seeing the old times go and having new stuff, but I think it's for the better.
Yeah,
we're not in control
everyone
of
grows
this
as
world.
people, and if Anthony was done kind of creating Smosh, then he's doing other stuff now, and that's what makes him happy. So I'm grateful for the memories, but I'm also happy that he's doing what he loves still.
Oh yeah, no, me too, full on. Anyway,
go-to games right now, definitely Overwatch. I play on a team. We're not good, but we play on it as a team. We do scrimmages every so often. Destiny 2. I got a free copy of that from watching BlizzCon, and so I've been playing a lot of that. I'm getting back into Counter-Strike after I went to the IEM tournament.
that's
2
good.
weeks ago.
After their disappointing updates recently from the community.
Yeah, and I'm gonna talk about the tournament in a little bit after we finish this up. I still kind of play Smash every so often. Fallout 76 I play every so often. I'll go back to Vainglory, but it's very different now. But so I just kind of cast it now. I don't really play anymore, but every so often I'll go back to it.
Yep. I have to say, one of my favorite things. I don't know if we just got disconnected. I can't hear anything from your side. Mark, you there?
Yeah. Hello.
Oh, there we go. Sorry, I cut out.
Okay. Yikes.
All right. So, yeah, yikes indeed. I don't know. My games right now. I have a bunch of games downloaded on my computer, and I just bought a bunch off the Steam sale. Go check that out. They got a lot of good stuff on sale now. I find myself going back to some of the old games now. I'm in the time of life again where I go back and revisit some of the stuff I used to do as a kid. Some stuff that I can't revisit are stuff like an old one that some people might remember from like a long time ago that's probably very obscure and nobody knows what I'm talking about. Megoland, an old it's kind of like a Club Penguin-ish thing. I wish I could go back to Penguin and revisit that. Yeah, nobody. I'm not going to get into that one because that one's just. I'm going to be beating a dead horse again. I have to say, I just re-downloaded Wizards 101 and I looked at my old account. That's crazy. It's crazy that they're still doing stuff that it's still going on. RuneScape came out on mobile.
The mobile thing. Old school RuneScape is back.
I applied for the beta and I did not get on, and I'm sad. Jagex screwed me on that one. Then again, Jagex kind of still killed RuneScape, but we're gonna let that one go for now. I have to say it's fun. It's fun revisiting back on my childhood days of when I was on the computer, what I did play then, and seeing RuneScape still flourish on the mobile. And it's nice because they're doing friendly updates to it still. And the nice part about that is that we as the people get to vote on that too. There's a certain amount of quality, people will vote on the next updates and what should be involved, and there has to be a certain amount of votes in there. So they're really listening to us on this one, and I keep playing it, and it's just my favorite way to kill time now. I did in the summer get addicted to card games. back when I was a kid. I'm pretty sure we all had Pokemon cards at one point, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I still have my old ones. I have them in a binder. They're not worth too much now, but I still have a couple.
I was never serious enough for a binder. I just had them all in a big stack on my old desk that I used to have. And I had no idea how to play the card game for real. I just collected them.
Oh, me neither. I see kids nowadays that are
rules with,
I see kids nowadays that are doing it. Crazy. These people are smart. They're smarter than me, and I feel bad. I shouldn't feel bad. That's a good thing for society.
I mean, that's not
they can
that
figure this
hard
out.
of a task to do, but like.
Oh no, not nowadays. I got into Magic now over the summer.
Oh, big brain Magic guy over here.
Yeah. All right, laugh it up, laugh it up. I can't go pro, even though I would love to. I've been playing a lot of standard. I'm trying to get into modern. For anybody who understands the lingo, but Magic is still a very fun game to play. I have a couple decks that I play with and I win tournaments at. A couple for our local game shop that we have, Nerd Rage. I don't know why I'm plugging Nerd Rage. I just love this store so much. Good people over there. I'm actually gonna go buy a box later today and get some new cards.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, really fun. I can't wait to pull some foil random crap. If I pull something good, I'll be tweeting it.
Sure.
But Magic, it brought me back to like when I was playing Magic and learning it. Our friends were teaching us. Our friend Ian and Jake, they were teaching me how to play, and I saw people playing Pokemon, and I looked at Pokemon for like the first time in my life again, after such a long period of like not looking at it, and I started realizing this is just strategy. This is building a deck strategy. And it made me think, if I'd realized this sooner, I might have been a very completely different person. I would have been going to tournaments. I would have been playing with different Pokemon decks. Most of my money would have gone to Pokemon cards.
Fun fact, I went to one Smash tournament. I went to Smash and Splash like a really long time ago. Because I thought I was good. I was like beating level 9 CPUs, and I was like, yeah, I could do this.
Oh, for sure. Same here.
I brought my wireless Pro controller, which I didn't know at the time, but that is like the biggest faux pas in the Smash community is you don't have wireless controllers because they're such a pain to hook up, and I didn't know that. And so some dude, he was just like, here, just take my extra controller. The guy was playing, so I'd never played Smash with a GameCube controller before, and so I was like,
my God.
Okay. And so I played. He two-stocked me twice. I was out of the tournament. I was there for maybe half an hour. I was so embarrassed, and I was just like, I'm gonna quit this game. But then I didn't. I kept playing.
Man.
But yeah, that's my tournament experience.
I had Mario Kart tournament experiences where I got first place. I hate to brag. I don't hate to brag, but this is one of those brag. No, I don't. You know me well enough. I don't hate to brag. This is, however, one of those brags that I'm very careful about because I will get my butt handed to me from time to time from people I don't know. But when I was younger, Mario Kart was my life. I'd play it no matter. It was the biggest time killer I had. My DS would die, and I'd be on the last lap, and I wouldn't care because I'd just be charging it all the way through. And at one point, it was like I got so good at it, it was like ridiculous. When Mario Kart 7 came out, and they had all the time records and stuff, and you could go online and see everyone's little records and race ghosts. I was constantly doing that. I had all the tourney stuff. I had all the tourney stuff done. All the trophies were there, all gold. It was triple star, or actually back then I think it was A++. I think there was another star rating though. I forget because it's been such a long time since Mario Kart 7 in my life.
Either.
But racing ghosts was the next best thing to do, and I would just dominate on the field. And I'd play random people online, and when I started connecting up and I faced them, it was clear that I had some potential and skill at that point. But I did go to one tournament, and it was a weird place to have a tournament. I went to two tournaments. One was a regular one, and one was on a cruise. Because my grandmother's stupid rich, so we went on a cruise, a family cruise with like all my extended family, and it was a lot of fun. They had one of those kids areas, as most cruises do. It was like Caribbean or something. We went on a Caribbean cruise. They had a kids area. They were having a Smash tournament on one of the days that the cruise was on one of the days on the boat. And I went, and there was about 50 other kids. I saw 10 of them, and if you've never gone on a cruise, you learn that you make friends really fast on a cruise because you're never going to see these people again. So you're as nice as hell, and it's really fun. I highly recommend going on a cruise. But I went there, made some friends. We were all in the tournament, but there was 40 other people I've never seen because I've never seen the room so packed. Beat every single one of them. We had a bracket start. One of the people who doesn't get paid enough to monitor this room was like, all right, kids, get in the bracket. And I was the first one up, and it was clear as day. Like, I was not losing this game. Oh, I fully owned everyone. And I felt so proud. I still have this crappy little medal from that cruise that says first place.
Yeah.
Oh, highlight of that time of my life.
But yeah, we are approaching the 30-minute mark, which means it's time to do a little bit of a transition here. So one thing
we're recording, so we got no music. Well, I mean, we could put some.
Yeah,
we have music.
it's okay. We've got enough to talk about for an hour. I say let's just go through it.
I say we do 2 hours. Just kidding. I don't know.
My voice won't hold up.
Alright.
But yeah, so 2 weeks ago, I went to the IEM Chicago Counter-Strike tournament, which is the first major esports event to ever be held in Chicago, believe it or not.
Yes, I watched it online.
Yeah.
I watched some of it online. I didn't watch all of it.
Yeah, and it was honestly one of the greatest experiences in my life. Like, not even joking. This was just so incredible, because it was more like a convention than a tournament, kind of like a really mini convention. So it was at the Wintrust Arena, which is where DePaul plays their like basketball games and stuff. So it was like a moderately sized arena. They had the stage on one side, these huge screens, and then, you know, the general seating. And day one, we sat in the VIP section by mistake, and they didn't tell us until right when it was about to start, and they were like, hey, you can't sit here.
Oh, no.
So, because there were no signs or anything being like, this is the VIP section, and we were like, these are really good seats, let's sit here. But
that's
yeah,
hilarious.
the 6 of us got kicked out of the VIP section, so we went all the way, we had to go all the way around to the other side of the arena, where it was like, the section next to the screens. But it was honestly not bad seats at all, because we were super close to all of the players on stage. You know, we could see the screens, we could see all the perspectives that was happening. You know, there was food right behind us, so we were all good. And then day 2, we sat in the, like, directly, it's like 12 o'clock. You know, if you're looking at the stage, we're directly in front of the stage. We were right by the caster booth, and watching them cast is incredible, because they start sitting down and just like looking at their screen or whatever, and then you can tell when something's about to go down when they start to stand up, because they get heated. This
is not something you could sit down on.
No. And you know, just being in the crowd as well, when, you know, someone wins a round, everybody cheers, and when, you know, the team that you're not rooting for, you know, does something really stupid, then everybody boos together, and the sense of community is really something I haven't felt before as a fan of esports. And the fact that, you know, these 5,000 people or so were here to watch professional video games, and I was one of them, it was honestly an incredible experience. And I got a t-shirt signed by a ton of players, because they had like signing sessions everywhere.
Yeah,
so,
you posted a picture.
Yeah.
It looks great.
I'll link it when I post this one up. I'll link our Twitters in there. But yeah, Astralis ended up winning that tournament, beating out Team Liquid, the fan favorite. And oh my gosh, when Team Liquid would win, the crowd was loud. Because obviously we're in North America. Liquid's a North American team. They're actually good. And
hey, this is America right now.
Right, exactly. But Astralis won in pretty dominant fashion, and they just cemented their spot as the best team in the world.
Yep.
But yeah, so that was the IEM experience, kind of just condensed really there. I got to play Beat Saber as well, which was so cool.
That's gotta be fun. That's a fun game.
Yeah, and if you guys don't know what Beat Saber is, it's basically you put on a VR headset and you have like two lightsabers in your hand, and these blocks will come towards you to the beat of a song, and you have to slash the bricks in like the direction that it prompts you in. It's like it's a rhythm game, and it was so much fun.
Yeah.
I got to play early access Hitman.
Wait, you didn't mention that part.
Yeah.
How was that?
I had never played a Hitman game before, so I was just kind of running around shooting people.
I would love to play some of the new Hitman.
Oh yeah, it was really cool, and like all the computers they had like the newest generation Intel stuff, so we could play Counter-Strike on these like $3,000 computers, which was whoa, that was cool.
That's got to be a luxury. That's a luxury none of us can afford.
Oh yeah, and there's like these 15-year-old kids who are just going into death matches and just destroying everybody, and then there's me and Jerome who are like 2v2ing these other guys, and they're just taking our heads clean off every time. It was so much fun.
It's like a privilege to be able to be destroyed that badly.
Oh, definitely. It's like, you are better than me. Please take this one. But yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, you want to do your speedrunning segment? Talk about the new stuff?
Yep. All right, we're in that point of the I'd say show where we're doing I talk about speedruns, and I've done this one other time. I have to say this was supposed to be done last week too. I had a bunch of stuff planned, and then all of a sudden I woke up 2 hours after we were supposed to be done recording, or after we were supposed to be done. And I texted Mark. I was like, "Oh no," and he's like, "Oh no," and we feel bad about that. I apologize for that one. But I looked up some new speedrunning records that we have right now and some new stuff. If anyone remembers the SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom game. Now, that was a fun game. I had that on CD.
That was a game?
That was a game. There was about 4 different SpongeBob games from what I remember.
Oh
I had
my gosh.
There might have been 3. Now, it was crazy because there was stuff for the PC and there was stuff for like actual like Xbox. This one was one of those games that was overlooked. But it's incredible because I'd say about a month or less than a month ago, a guy, fun speedrunner Jared, he got it on Xbox. He got 57 minutes and 33 seconds for the speedrun, and it's incredible. I watched that speedrun. He did it any percent. Crazy. I have to say, I did not expect that game to ever show up again in my entire life. I thought this would be a random occurrence that only maybe 5 other people would know about in this world. But suddenly it hit the speedrunning scene a little while ago, and for an any percent, that's pretty cool. To do it in under an hour. The record right now, the record holder for that is Shift. He's an American player or American speedrunner. Don't know whether he is on Twitch, so go check him out on there. He's under the name, I'll have to look up the name in a minute, but he's Shift. He's got a good speed run of that, and I have to say, watching it's pretty cool. One of the biggest things that I saw right now, another speed run, a world record that is now a world record only because I don't know of anybody else who's actually speed run the game, and I was surprised to actually see anybody speed running this game. A very obscure game called Fairrune. It's incredible because it's like I heard of the game, I played it on my DS, and all of a sudden somebody was like, "Oh yeah, I got a speedrun of it up here," and I was like, "Wait, what?" I just lost the person who just speedran this. I had it up and I just closed out of it. Somebody started speedrunning this game, and it's the first one I've seen. I'm wondering if that's gonna pick up maybe. Hopefully it does. Maybe it doesn't, but it was interesting to see like one of those new games that you don't normally see pick up, and it's definitely an interesting thing to keep on top of. For our last game, I guess I'm going to talk about a couple months ago somebody got a world record for, if you've heard of this game, it's great, Octopath Traveler. It's
Yes.
a very fun game. JRPG, you can get on the Switch. Brilliant, beautiful. It's a lovely, lovely RPG, and for someone who really enjoys RPGs, I have to say you should get this game. You should get it. You should play it. If you want to speedrun it, go for it. For doing the prologues, doing the first chapter of every character speedrun, somebody was able to complete it in 38 minutes. This is Eternal Dream. He's a German speedrunner. For our situation, an American one. Third place would be Thunder Hop. Pretty cool guy. I'd say. I think I've seen a couple of his things. I know he does. He had it on. He logged it in, and I think he showed it up on there, and I watched it. It was pretty good. You know, these speedruns too. It's like you go through. You can go on. I use speedrun.com to check up on these, and I kind of check it daily to see what's new and what's happened. I do watch some on Twitch too. One of the games I might be talking about next week that I see a lot of people are doing is Celeste. Celeste has a lot of people on it right now. It's a fun game.
I've seen a bunch of task speedruns of that.
Yeah, TAS recently did that. I think that's why it's kind of filtering in now. Really fun. I'd say go check it out. Actually, I have it up right now. About 9 days ago, a little more than a week, somebody got the any percent American TGH got first world record on it for any percent, 28 minutes, 49 seconds, and 835 milliseconds. That
they
beats.
Measure that in milliseconds.
You have to in these kind of games. These are frame by frame. This is one of those frame by frame speedruns that you have to look into. And he has it on all hearts too, which is a mode you have in there, and then all red berries he has a second place on there. For all chapters he has first, and for 100% he is also first. TGH. I recommend go watching some of those if you can find him. He is a Twitch streamer, so go watch that. I don't know if he's not online right now, but yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it for the speedrunning scene right now. I'll get back to you guys with more of that and some new ones hopefully next week.
Yeah. So for the roundup today, as you know, I call it a roundup because it is a roundup of all of the esports news, scores, stats, new things, random facts. But yeah, the Esports Awards for 2018 were not too long ago. And some notable results we have is Breakthrough Game of the Year, Fortnite. I feel like we all saw that one coming. Team of the Year is the Astralis CSGO team. Again,
nice.
Didn't think that one was going to be much of a surprise. And I did see them live too, which was a treat as well. Hardware provider is NVIDIA, which
that was not a shock.
That
was it?
I thought it was because not a lot of teams I can think of off the top of my head have NVIDIA as their main sponsor.
Yeah, but NVIDIA just released the Titan, didn't they?
They might have.
They just released something new, and I knew that was big because it offered a lot more clear, I guess, or it just looked much better.
Yeah.
It was faster, more powerful.
Yeah,
and
but
so I was
they're
doing well.
HyperX and Turtle Beach and a bunch of the other peripheral companies that I definitely thought would have taken it because Cloud9's sponsor is HyperX, Optic uses Turtle Beach, I'm pretty sure, and these big names that are sponsored, but I couldn't think of any that were sponsored by NVIDIA, which was, I don't know, that was kind of a surprise to me. And then the Esports Live event of the year was the Overwatch League Grand Finals. That happened back in May, I want to say. But yeah, that was a great experience too. I obviously didn't attend it, but I watched it live, and even though there was a rather disappointing performance by DJ Khaled, I go look it up. It's hilarious and not in a good way. But yeah, that happened. Game of the year is Overwatch. The Overwatch League is so big. It's so what's the word I'm looking for? Impactful.
Now that one I'm not surprised of because I know Overwatch has a great esports scene as of right now, and they have had it in the past for now. And since they've slowly been growing and then exponentially, it's been great. I would not be surprised, I guess to say the least, if I ever see something like Fortnite ever pop up on there. Maybe next year if they do something like that. I know it's not that big of a game. I know esports wise, it's just Fortnite's a fun game, more casual.
It's there definitely is a professional presence in Fortnite, but it's not like, organized in the way that Overwatch is, if that makes sense. It's kind of more just like, here's a tournament, play to win money. Whereas, Overwatch is like contracts and heavy practice schedules and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, streamer of the year is Ninja, beating out such notable names as Shroud, Dr. Disrespect, XQC, and Tyler 1.
Dr. Disrespect and Tyler 1, yep.
Well, that's a lot of stiff competition. But yeah, Ninja's definitely the streamer of the year, in my opinion. Just the amount of stuff that he has accomplished is nobody else will even come close to that, I feel like.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah. Player of the year is Simple from Natus Vincier's Counter-Strike team. He is widely regarded as the best Counter-Strike player in the world, has been for a long time, and I'm really glad that he got that distinction. And then the organization of the year, it's my boys, Cloud9.
Cloud9, that's nice.
Now, Cloud9 won a Counter-Strike major, the first North American team to ever do that. They got 4th place in League Worlds. The Cloud9 owned team won the Overwatch League. They won the Rocket League Invitational, which, Rocket League Esports, but they still won it. And yeah, they're doing real good things.
Yeah, that's gotta be, yeah. I definitely see it.
But yeah, I've got a couple more headlines here to share, but anything else from you that you wanted to just chime in on?
I'm just happy to hear all the fun stuff that's going on. I know I'm not... I hate saying it, even though this is very much an esports show. You're definitely more involved in it than I am, but I definitely do enjoy watching it and talking about it for sure. Hearing the Cloud9 stuff is great. I love it when you get excited over that.
My boys.
It's always fun because I know your boys. Yeah, I have to say it's fun. I gotta get more into it if I definitely for the show, just to be able to talk more about it. But yeah.
So just a couple more headlines. Cloud9 Rocket League does win the RLCS finals against Dignitas, the previous unbeaten champions. They'd won 3 in a row, I'm pretty sure. And then Cloud9, I think, come from behind reverse sweep or something ridiculous to beat Dignitas. So congratulations to them. Zero, widely considered as the best Smash 4 player, who retired earlier this year. He will be returning for Smash Ultimate and is signed with Tempo Storm instead of Team Solo Mid that he was before. Serral becomes the first non-Korean to win a StarCraft 2 Global Finals ever.
Interesting.
And
that's pretty sweet.
StarCraft 2 has been around for 15 years?
Oh yeah, I remember playing that with I remember playing that with a lot of friends.
But yeah.
And we played StarCraft 2. We played the original StarCraft a lot because we got it on free. I have actually both the CDs of it right now in my room. Both the originals. My uncle gave it to me.
Yeah, but you think that in the entire span of the game, a Korean has won it every single time except for this year, where I believe he's Danish. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
Danish.
Yeah, he won the StarCraft 2 Global Finals, so again, congratulations to him. Fortnite will now have all 32 NFL skins as unlockables with a partnership with the NFL, which is a lot.
They tweeted that out, and I looked at it and I was like, "Oh, that's great."
It screams cash grab, but I can't exactly blame Epic for wanting to milk as much money as they can before it dies in a year.
I think that's just I'm gonna comment on that one. I don't think that's milking it. I think that's just really, really smart.
Yeah, it's good business.
Good business indeed. And that's the other thing. Fortnite, the Golden Joystick Awards, they won Game of the Year.
Oh yeah.
Now they did beat Red Dead Redemption 2, which online I hate seeing this. I hate seeing everyone be like, "Oh, Red Dead 2 should have won, hands down, no debate." People are going insane over that. It's like, okay, you know what? Calm down. It's Fortnite's done way more for the community. Red Dead 2 just came out. I would love to see Red Dead 2 win Game of the Year, and it definitely is going to do that at some point. Fortnite did come out last year. People were complaining about that. It's like, well, no, it's this year right now is
It's
current.
the game
It's
of
game of the year.
yeah, and it's very accessible. Whereas Red Dead is like a PS4 exclusive. I'm pretty sure.
PS4, Xbox One, PS4.
Okay,
It's
but
console,
like
console only.
yeah,
And
Fortnite you can play Fortnite anywhere, so that helps as well.
The Red Dead series does, however, have its name to it, and it did hold up. I loved watching people play Red Dead Redemption 2, and if I ever get an updated console via Xbox One or PS4 or something like that, I will definitely get that game because it is so much fun to watch and play. And I have to say it's amazing. But, people who are complaining about Fortnite winning, I'm sorry, I absolutely hate Fortnite too. And not in the ways you think. I hate the fact that I just don't like the way it plays. I don't like the whole building aspect.
Yeah,
I think it's an
that's the
interesting
only reason
thing.
I couldn't get into it.
Yeah,
PUBG,
same here.
I played a lot of PUBG, and I was decent at it. But
yeah, same here.
I've tried Fortnite. I play it with my brother all the time. But that's the only stipulation. I only play when he asks me to carry him. But
Of course.
yeah, I just don't know how to build, and it's kind of difficult. But
Yeah,
I'm sure
and-
once you figure it out, it's not that difficult. But like,
People,
I just
yeah,
haven't
and
got
people
over
who are
that curve yet.
people who are complaining, really, I hate seeing it, that people complain about it. It's just my only tip of advice if you're listening and, you think about, like, oh, if you have this opinion, it's like, your opinions are valued. Just try to think about what Fortnite has done for the community, the gaming community. It's brought a lot more people together. It's opened up a demographic from really low ages to really high ages, and it's brought people together. It's raised a lot of money.
This generation's Minecraft. Like our generation was our game that like everyone was like, oh, they're just, so cringy or whatever. But that was our Minecraft, and then like this generation has Fortnite, and it'll be interesting to see what the next one is as well.
And you know what? That'll be that'll be a while until that comes in. But I feel like, the whole Battle Royale scene is coming to an end soon. It's going to slow down at one point. And when it does, that's when we'll start opening up the doors to a new game that'll take over the scene. We had the Flappy Bird series of like those kind of games on mobile. we went from open world building games like Minecraft to the Flappy Bird scene, and now we're in Battle Royales. There was one more in between. I kind of forget what it was. I don't necessarily have a good recollection of that time, but Fortnite is now a big thing, all the Battle Royale stuff. I want to see what the next one will be, and I'm hoping it'll be something that will bring even more people together and do a lot more for the gaming community.
Oh, that was the Pokemon Go era.
That's right. Yep.
Before Fortnite. That was the closest to world peace we will ever get. Was that first week or month or so of Pokemon Go?
Pokemon Go is still good. We're in college. A lot of college kids like doing it. Our friend Scotty, he's good at it. I wanted to get into it. I don't know how. My opinion still is the same as when Pokemon Go first came out. I thought this is a really good idea. It's just not for me.
Yeah. The last headline that I do have though is Double Lift, who plays League of Legends, and Ninja make Forbes 30 under 30 2019. And Forbes 30 for 30 is like entrepreneurs in their industry, like the biggest rising stars, I guess. But it's really cool. Bjergsen was the first esports player to ever be featured in it last year. He plays for Team Solomid's League of Legends team, but now we have two. And there were a couple more streamers in the entertainment category, but the gaming category had Double Lift and Ninja.
Yeah.
That's really cool to see,
Very.
And now people I think are finally realizing that esports is marketable and you can make a lot of money off of it, and now they're starting to, take it a little bit more seriously.
I can't wait. Future holds a lot of things.
But yeah. Any closing thoughts? That's all I got on my end.
I'd say people, we as gamers, we tend to look forward. We want to see stuff from certain companies. We want to see games evolve. We want to see new stuff. We want to get the good stuff happening. These new games coming out like Red Dead 2 or that came out. We want to see the change in the gaming industry. We want to see it for the better. And sometimes we're not always going to get what we want, and sometimes we don't even know what we want. I'd say just hold an optimistic opinion, and we're going to get there. We're going to get to some point where everyone's going to be happy. and hopefully that point will be sometime in the future. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not next week, but at one point or another, we're all gonna have a really fun time, and people are just gonna and games will just take over, and it'll be great.
Yeah. So
Sooner or later, they won't rot our eyes out.
that's true. We'll have bionic eyes in the future. But yeah,
We'll
this
have-
has been Esports Off the Grill with Burger and GoldenTim. Don't forget, you can check us out at Twitter. I am at BurgermanMark, and
I'm at Timothy Heiser, spelled Heiser.
yep, our show Twitter is esports_off. Please follow that, retweet us, give us a little bit more publicity. I'd love that.
We'd love to reach higher demographic, maybe the old people,
Yeah.
maybe the millennials.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's
And
get them all.
you can always listen in to Harper Radio at 88.3 FM or always at harperradio.com. And yeah, next Friday, 11 o'clock, we will be back with our regularly scheduled programming.
We promise this time.
Yes. But yeah, thanks everybody. Thanks for listening. And we'll see you next week.
Stay grateful, Harper.